So, hello everybody. It is May 5th, 2005. It's Cinco de Mayo, and it's also my daughter's birthday. So, happy birthday if you ever watch this. Um, and I thought that would be a good theme for today is rebirth. As some of you know, in Minnesota, it is the most beautiful week you can ever imagine. These are some photos of beautiful blossoms. So, I was inspired by nature and all the beautiful flowers, tulips. That was yesterday's photo. Celebrated Mother's Day early. And they say in Spain, because my daughter's in Spain right now, that it was Mother's Day last Sunday. So they celebrate, it looks like a week before us. So we got to celebrate the Spanish Mother's Day with my, here locally. So, anyways, let me tell you what the question was so that if you want to think about it, you can. And it's from this Holstein's cards. It's a nice little deck, little expendy, but it feels nice. It's really nice material. Was there ever a moment when your life changed course because of an action you took, and what was it? And some people shared career choices, making choices. Some talked about family. Some talk about marriage. So, anyways, something for you to think about. All right, so I'm so glad that you're here. Theme is kind of rebirth, and I thought this had a nice little. I looked up this book, Louise Hay. So Hay House, everybody loves it. You can heal your life. Um, and I looked up the page for rebirth, and it was on page 35, and it talked about each moment is a new beginning. So I thought I'd just read a little bit from it. It says, I repeat, the power, the point of power is always the present moment. You are never stuck. This is where change takes place, right here, right now, in your own minds. It doesn't matter how long we know we've had a negative pattern or an illness or a poor relationship or lack of finances or self-hatred. We can begin to make a shift today. Your problems no longer need to be the truth for you. It can now fade back to the nothingness from whence it came, and you can do it. Remember, you're the only person who thinks in your mind. You are the power and the authority in your world. Your thoughts and beliefs of the past have created this moment and all the moments up to this moment. What you are now choosing to believe and think and say will create the next moment and the next day and the next month and the next year. So, yes, you, darling, I can give you the most marvelous advice coming from my years of experience. She wrote this when she was like 80, 90s, or yet you can continue to choose to think your same old thoughts. You can refuse to change and keep all your patterns. You are the power in the world, and you have whatever you choose to think. And the moment begins with a new process. Each moment is a new beginning, and the moment is a new beginning for you right here, right now. Isn't that great to know? The moment is the point of power, and this moment is where change begins. So that's a little paragraph right here. If you ever get this book, I won't type up the whole thing, but it's on page 35 of this book. And I love this book because it's so colorful. As you can see, I got colorful. So it's a really nice book if you are looking for one to have. And I thought I would pull out a challenge card. So something for you to challenge yourself this week. Oh, so I don't think I pulled this one before. Hey, did you call? On the back it says, call, don't text a friend, a family member, and tell them why you appreciate them. Or maybe I don't know if I pulled this one before. Make somebody's day by reminding them how they have, how much you mean to them. So nice thing to do for yourself and a friend. So challenge yourself maybe to do that for you and for a friend. Maybe tell yourself every day why you feel, you appreciate them, why you appreciate yourself, right? All right. So let's go into a fun song and then we'll go into movement and then meditation. This song I taught at my first song circle. It was a little challenging so I didn't record it. So if anybody did watch, there is a YouTube link. If you have my YouTube channel, I submitted the link of the songs, and I'm so grateful for the people that came And I will have another Sun Circle May 22nd, that Thursday, 7 o'clock, and we're aiming to meet in Bloomington. So if anybody wants to meet in Bloomington, if the weather's good, if not, we'll have a backup plan. Um, but I didn't record this song. I recorded a few of the songs, but not this one. So let's drink some water, do some vocal warm-ups before we do it, so it helps my voice too. So let's do some gargling, some of the water. Sounds kind of funny, but it feels good on the throat. That was a deeper one. So just gently massaging, putting the little thumb and just gently massaging in your underneath your chin, doing a little self-care. Our voice, it's a beautiful vessel. It carries us, sets our intention. So just gently massaging. Let's do that's warm-up exercise, Bumblebee, if you remember it. Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. Maybe one more time. We always like sets of three. Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. So it's a nice little kind of help your throat. So this is a song. Let me get the lyrics. I did copy them. So people in the chat, for people who are on Zoom, if you watch it later, um, that reminds me, I won't be here next week. Oops, that's the wrong chat. I will not be here next week for Zoom, and I plan to be here on the 19th. Also, if somebody wanted the link for this chat, so I have that in my I had it ready, but I gotta get back to that song. But anyways, going back to, of course, I had it ready, but then like I said, I got goofed it up. Um, but what I'm trying to say is, I won't, the pattern for June will be a little goofy. Um, I'll probably meet in the beginning, but I might have to miss a few Mondays due to a family wedding that's in town. But they seem to all want to have parties on Monday. So, um, but you know what? I also talked about meeting in person. So think about it. If anybody's willing to meet like South Minneapolis, Bloomington, Richfield, um, let me know and we could actually meet in person if that interests you. Um, but if not, we'll skip a few weeks. Okay, so I just texted you the song. The song is written by Beatrice Martin. They have a song circle called Song from the Heart and Heart Song and Circle Song. And they co-lead it with another person named Heather Pearson, I believe. And it's a really fun song. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm not perfect either. But it's a really fun. So here it goes. So that's the backstory of the song. And I heard it and it sounds so beautiful with drumming, but we're going to keep it simpler. Um, but there is a kind of a low tone you can have or a high. So feel what's nice and what feels good for you. So it goes light and shadow, shadow and light, light and shadow, shadow and light. So we can do that again. Light and shadow, shadow and light. Feels all right, hopefully. Light and shadow, shadow and light. And the next part is dancing patterns through the day and the night. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. So from the top, light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. Maybe do it one more time, those two together. Light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. All right. Hopefully that feels pretty good. Or let's do it a third time because we always believe in threes in Tai Chi and Qigong. Light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. So it kind of has a nice jazzy feel. Next line is, you and me were all shadows of light. So that part again, you and me were all shadows of light. One more time, right? Three. You and me were all shadows of light and light and light. Sorry. So from the top, light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me were all shadows and light. So from the top, I know we'll get to the bottom one. I just want you to feel good. Light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me were all shadows and light. And one more time. Light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me were all shadows and light. And the next part, finding our ways on this journey of life. Finding our way in on this journey of life. One more time. Finding our way on this journey of life. So from the top, light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns, the day and the night. You and me, we're all shadow and light, finding our way on this journey of life. Let's do that two more times, that first part. Isn't it a fun song? I love it. It just feels light beat, refreshing. And I thought it was a nice rebirth song because now everything is blooming. We can start seeing the buds and leaves. So we can start seeing patterns of shadows and light more than before. All right, so light and shadow, shadow and light, dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me, we're all shadows and light, finding our way on this journey of life. And maybe one more time. It's fun, isn't it? Light and shadow, shadow and light, dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me, we're all shadow and light, finding our way through the journey of life. And the next part is little, it's just slower. Okay, wait, I think it's a little bit lower. Shadow and light. There we go. It is lower. Shadow and light. Light and shadow. Like I told you, there's a high part and a low part. So I'm doing the low. Shadow and light. Light and shadow, shadow and light, light and shadow. One more time, three, right? Shadow and light, light and shadow, shadow and light, light and shadow. So if you're like, that is way too low, there is a higher pitch, if I can find it. Shadow and light, light and shadow, 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 shadow and light, light and shadow. So they're like an octave apart. I'm glad my voice is doing well. All right, let's do it from the top, and I might flip the top and low just so you can play with it. And the last part is just gorgeous with harmonies. So maybe experiment opposite of whatever I'm doing. It sounds so beautiful when Heather and Beatrice sing it together because Beatrice has a beautiful low voice and Heather has this beautiful high voice. So I'll send a link to the song so you can hear it. All right. Light and shadow, shadow and light, dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me were all shadows and light, finding our ways through this journey of life. Shadow, light, light and shadow, shadow, light, light and shadow, light and shadow, shadow and light. Dancing patterns through the day and the night. Bring it lower. You and me, we're all shadows and light, finding our ways on this journey of life. Shadow and light. So that's the lower part. Light and shadow, shadow and light, light and shadow, light and shadow, shadow and light, dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me, we're all shadows and light, finding our way on this journey of life. Okay, go back. Shadow and light, light, light. I'm switching the turn. Light and shadow, shadow and light, light and shadow. I mixed the two together there, so you can play with it. But anyways, it's a gorgeous song. Hopefully you liked it. Maybe do it one more time. Light and shadow, shadow and light, dancing patterns through the day and the night. You and me, we're all shadows of light, finding our way on this journey of life. Shadow and light, light and shadow, shadow and light, light and shadow. All right. Thank you so much. That is a beautiful song. I enjoyed singing it with you. Hopefully, you got a different pitch. Try to give you a variety there. All right, let's do some movement. So get in a comfortable position, standing or sitting. And I thought it would be a nice review for today. A little bit what we've done in the past. I'm not going to show anything too much new unless you really want me to. But last week we did some simple movements, just gathering and grounding. So if you are standing, right, if you're in a chair, on the edge of your chair, nice upright position, hip shoulders in alignment. If you're standing, knees soft, right? This is a locked knee. That's a soft knee. So I invite you to have and tuck your pelvis under, nice soft knees, grounding to the floor, feeling the feet on the floor. Just noticing how you're standing, just reviewing the posture. That's we do in Tai Chi, Qigong. We want all our joints to be soft. Some people like to ground to the earth. You can actually have your hands, if that feels awkward, I do feel some tension. Um, so maybe pointing towards the earth. Notice the difference between feeling the earth with the palms and feeling with the fingertips. So imagine energy shooting through the palms, through your fingertips instead of your palms. Feeling grounded in earth, feeling that centeredness, noticing the shadows of light, noticing choices that we've made and how they shaped us. Let's take a few deep breaths in our body. And again, if you're in a chair, just be on the edge of your chair, keeping that nice upright posture. Chin is slightly tucked in, tongue to the roof of the mouth. And let's do some nice slow movements. I really like that one movement where we just bring the hands up, come into the chest, and holding it there. And then gently push down to the earth. So let's think about rebirth, right? Let's welcome in the new. What's happening, the present moment. What we talked about with Louise Hayes, knowing that this is the present moment, and then sending the blessings to the earth. Gathering again. Deep heart gratitude. But we are just feeling the reflections off the palm of our hands and sending that gratitude to the earth. Gather again. Feeling that connection. And then releasing that. And again, nice inhale if you want to use your breath. Let's incorporate our breath in this. Feeling it. And then gently release. So let's think of things that we're gathering and what maybe we're releasing. I meant to tell this earlier to you guys, but I got that grant that I applied for. So I'm releasing the old and I'm welcoming the new possibilities, the new songs, the new year. Taking that breath in and releasing. Gathering a few more times. Gathering what's new for you. Maybe it's the blossoms and the trees. Maybe it's the flowers from the earth. And let's do that one last time. Gather, feel the warmth in our hands, and then gently receive it back to the earth. All right, good. So that's a nice review or Qigong movement. We did a little bit of movement from Tai Chi for Better Balance. It's the original version that was released by Dr. Lee in 2012, I believe it was. And we did some movements of holding the ball. So sinking your weight, I'm going to mirror you. So you sink all your weight on the right side. So right hand is on top, left hand's on the bottom. And I'm mirroring you. So if you, it's actually, this is my left side, but I'm saying opposite to my brain. So we're going to sink all our weight on the right side. So it's kind of an empty foot on the right. So, or right, your left, right? Okay, so there I goofed. Okay, so I'm holding all the weight on the right hand's on top, left's on the bottom. We're going to engage a little bit the hip flexors. So if you're in a chair, just engage the hip flexors if you can. And we're going to gently let that bottom hand go down and under, another hand on top. So engage the hip flexors. Gently that bottom hand goes down, the other one follows. And we bring the foot in. Engage the hip flexors, stepping out and carrying that ball. Engage hip flexors, stepping out, hands go out, carrying that ball. Stepping out. So this is good to engage the hip flexors, even in a chair, whatever you can do. And carry. If it's too much movement to think of stepping out, so maybe just focus on the hands. Engage, right? That's without, and bottom hand goes up, carrying that ball. So engage hip flexors, bottom hand kind of goes out on top. And if you just did one hand, it would look like this, right? And the one hand goes out and then kind of goes on top. And the other hand goes to the bottom. So one hand goes out and holds the ball. So it's a little bit of movement. I know it's a recording, so you can't ask any questions, but you know, hey, good news, I do offer in-person classes, or I can do a private lesson with you on Zoom. So engage the hip flexors and without stepping. So let's just try that a few times. And if you're feeling good, you can wind up and step out, bring the foot in, wind up, step out, bring it in. So this is a nice review of hold the ball. Engage hip flexors and the other side. So it's a good challenge to do this movement, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes people get confused with all the little details, and you don't have to be. And all right, let's do that maybe one more time each side. Going to the left, stepping out, going to the right. All right. So when we do this movement to signify the ending, you crisscross, hands come down and slowly come down and you bring the foot in. So let me show you from the beginning. So let's just show you from the beginning and the beginning or the ending. All right. So if you're doing the form, you would start with the feet together. So join me, starting with the feet together. If you're in a chair, just put your feet together. And we're going to lift the left foot, stepping out. Hands rise up and down. So that is the commencement. And then you would gently hold the ball in the right side because you're going to engage and step out to the left. So, and you bring that foot in, engage, step out, and go nice and slow because that's why you're going to feel maybe the tingling, the softness in the hands as they kind of dance and grow. So we'll just do that. You can do it once or twice. You can do it 3 times. And let's go back to where we started. And then when you signify the ending, your hands crisscross. They go out, down, knees are no longer bent, and you bring your left foot back in. So technically, you're learning the beginning, the ending of the original form of Tai Chi for Better Balance. And the first movement, there's 8 movements, and that's hold the ball. Right, let's, I like to do sets of 3, so let's do that 2 more times from the beginning. All right, and we'll just do maybe 2 reps of hold the ball. Okay, so feet together, and for some of you, this might be your first time ever doing it. So hold the ball, hands by your side, stepping out to the left, commence, hands rise up, drippy fingers, hands come down. I'm going to hold the ball. So engage the hip flexors, step out to the left, hand goes up, now the hand's on top. Engage the hip flexors, step out, hold the ball. Feels like a dance move to me. Let's do it one more time. But we're going nice and slow. There's no bouncing or anything like that. It's just soft, smooth, and continuous. All right, so we've done it 2 times. Then the hands crisscross to signify the ending. Hands go down, knees are no longer bent, and we bring the feet back together. So let's do that one last time. And commence. Stepping out to the left, hands rise up and down. We hold the ball on the right side, engage the hip flexors, step out to the left, hold the ball, engage the hip flexors, step out. And let's go out, do it one more time. Engage the hip flexors, step out. Engage the hip flexors and step out. And to signify the ending, hands crisscross, come down, knees are no longer bent, and we bring the left foot back in. So let's just take a moment to notice how we're feeling. And maybe I'll do another Qigong move just in the more movement portion of our time together. But just taking a grounding breath. All right, good. Stepping in a little bit wider so we're more comfortable. So I'm trying to think of what's a fun one that maybe I haven't done in a while. Let's do a rainbow one. Painting a rainbow. It's from Shibashi. You can do this without stepping out, but you can step out, turning your hands to one side, and it's like you paint a rainbow. And then you can bring your, so you put your foot out, bring it back in, shift your weight, pivot the foot, and then come back. You can do that, or you can just stay in position. Just move within your comfort zone. Do what feels right. Don't do anything that hurts, okay? So this is a Shibashi move, and it's called Paint the Rainbow. So I'm going to shift my weight. I like to pivot the foot, look in the same direction. Come back to center, shift the weight, and the other side. And it can be hard if you have any neck or shoulder issues, so listen to your body. You could make it smaller. So maybe you want to inhale one way, inhale, shift the weight, and then exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. If that feels natural for you, if that does not, please do something different. But I like the imagery of painting a rainbow. I know the other day I saw a beautiful one, maybe a week ago. And let's do that one more time, because this is hard if you can feel it on your shoulders and your arms. And the other. And again, And then you have just the hands come back to normal. All right, let's do some shoulder rolls. You might feel some muscle tension from that. So that is some nice Qigong movements. And we can go into our meditation and lymphatic work. So I was, you know me, it's kind of fun to use chat. I asked chat for 20 phrases that evoke the theme of rebirth. And it's kind of fun to hear all the words that they came up with. Some of it's pretty poetic. So I want you, so that's going to use that as our theme for our meditation as we ground and we get centered in our body. So getting nice and comfortable in our chair or laying down. And I invite you to give yourself permission to relax. I know that's not sometimes easy to do, especially if you have body pains or fatigue or, worries, stress in your life. But I invite you to relax and to settle into your body, into your breath, into your this moment. As Louise Hayes, all we have is this moment. And let's take a little bit deeper breath if we can. Maybe feeling our rib cage expand a little bit. And then exhale. Sometimes imagine breathing through a straw and exhaling out through a straw can help us slow down. So I invite you that visualization of inhaling through a straw. And then gently exhaling through a straw. I'm using this imagery of my fingers if you're looking like expanding my diaphragm and then exhaling. Let's do that again. And a few more times. It feels very relaxing and calming, doesn't it? Imagining the rib cage expand and breathing through that straw. And let's do that one more time. And exhaling through that straw. And I invite you to keep doing that breathing if you want a little bit slower. As I read these beautiful phrases about rebirth. And this is from Chat GPT. All right. So here are 20 phrases to invoke a theme of rebirth useful for poetry, storytelling, personal growth, and spiritual reflection. Number one, born anew from the ashes. See if that resonates anywhere in your body. A second wind of the soul. Rising with fresh purpose. The dawn after endless night. A phoenix in full bloom. New roots from broken ground. The light after a storm. See what you notice and feel in your body. Rewoven from ruin. Breathing life into silence. Awakened by the fire within. the soul's resurrection, from shatter to shape, becoming whole once more, becoming whole once more, from decay to divine, the turning of the inner tide, a garden grown from grief. I thought that was a pretty good one. A garden grown from grief, the echo of a new beginning, transformed by trius, the stillness before the surge, unfolding from within. So there's a lot of phrases. Maybe it's too many. Maybe you can pick one or two. Some breathing into the silence. That one struck me pretty good because I feel like in Minnesota, um, it can be pretty silent in the wintertime. And all this beautiful spring activity, I just feel like that's the breathing life into the silence, the winter. Or maybe it's wakened by the fire within, you know, what burns and gives you life and joy. And as we talk about that, I'm thinking about our to-do this week is to give a call to a friend or family member and tell them how much you appreciate them. So awakening that fire from within. So if see what comes to your mind, born anew from the ashes, is there some things that you have to let go of right now or you have in the past, and that because of that ashes, because of that growth, you have new birth, right? Gave fertilizer, nutrients for what this present moment is. And I hope, that everything that happens for us, even when it's hard, that it does those things. It brings new life to us, new growth and strength. So, as we think about these different things about rebirth and new life, or maybe images of beautiful tulips that I showed earlier, or apple blossoms, may you be comforted in knowing that you can always come, back to this moment of peace, of relaxation, to this present moment. That's all we have is this present moment, especially when things are hard, knowing that it's the present moment and it will pass. So let's breathe in some breaths. If you want to do that straw breathing again, just to kind of help us transition slowly out of this beautiful, relaxing meditation, poetry, words, inspired by rebirth. So let's do some nice, relaxing breaths, and it will kind of lead us right into the self-lymphatic massage. So actually, let's do that breathing with a gentle pressure in between our eyes by the eyebrows. So just gently holding either upward motion or downward. And like I said, it's just like an ant crawling on your skin. It's not painful. So nice deep breaths and a nice exhale. Doing that again. Third time. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling, exhaling, Inhaling and exhaling. One last time. Now we can release the eyes, the pressure. Gently go down your face from the top of your head to the clavicle. And it's gentle pressure. And let's do the sides from the top over the ears, again leading to the clavicle. And one more time. And then from behind, going across under to the clavicle. And one more time. Let's go underneath the ear and side swipe just on the same side. And one more time, other side. And it doesn't matter which side you start with, as long as you do both. Sometimes, like for me, this can actually make me burp a little bit. I just felt that little burp from the water. So it's amazing how it's like what touching here can affect your digestive system. Isn't that crazy? But my body is sensitive like that. I can feel those little things. All right, now let's do the chest and get your scarf ready if you have one. And we'll just go on the side, going around your chest, leading it to the clavicle. And one more time, and then up and over, going over the chest, leading it to the clavicle. And one more time, and then going from the sternum on the right side, if you're at the camera, and going up. And one more time, and the other side, up and over. And like I said, you can do it without lifting your arm, but it just feels a little bit easier sometimes to lift. And then let's go up and over. If you're a woman, if you're a man, I guess it's straight up. And one more time. And then the sternum went up. And let's do the back. So from behind, gently five street upward motions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's kind of between the shoulder blades. That's what we're aiming for. And now the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last move, which is a downward stroke motion here. And I know we're getting low on time, but let's do the face because I feel like with all these allergies, we could all use it if you're in Minnesota and I'm sure in other parts of the world. So let's gently do 3 fingers across the forehead, starting in the middle, going down to the temples. And one more, 2 fingers around the eyebrows, starting at the middle, going outward and down. And then starting by the nose, going outward underneath the eyes, an upward motion. All right, let's do 1 finger across and go in front of the ear, up a little, and down to the clavicle. So cross, up, and down. Cross, up, and down. Up. And one more time. Let's do, I like to use the knuckle, but you can use your finger again. So we want to sweep across and down. So you can use your knuckle. Gives more surface area and it helps your sinuses. Looks like a letter 7. And like I said, I don't know if this facial technique I'm teaching you is from Parent. It's just a nice lymphatic. All right, now let's do underneath the chin, going to the jawline, sweeping under, and being very gentle. If you feel any discomfort, go lighter. Especially if you feel really exhausted after this, then you're probably way too hard. And gently go down. I know I can be that way. It's only after years and years of Tai Chi and Qigong that I've learned to be lighter, but my first instinct is to go harder. So let's do that one more time. And let's let it drain. So having just the hand, gentle pressure there, and turning the neck side to side can just help the lymphatic drain a little bit more easier. And one more time. Other side, just gentle pressure, turning side to side. And one more time. All right, and coming back to center. So good job. I'm gonna end the recording here shortly. Just a heads up. One, I got the grant for the next album. If you're part of that or like singing, I got the dates tentatively out there. I'm just debating for the retreat date between two dates. I should decide in a week or two. Since next time we meet, I'll have a decision. And but the other dates of the recording dates have been decided. It's kind of a tight schedule, so I know exactly and I know what my sound guy can do. So please take a look at seeothers.org.com. And also, we'll be meeting on the 19th on Monday on Zoom. Um, May 22nd, Thursday, hoping to meet in person. If the weather is bad, we'll have a second backup location, and that's at 7 o'clock. And again, the schedule will be a little different in June. So watch for that. And I'm just really grateful. Happy Mother's Day for those who celebrate this coming weekend. Just really grateful that you come, you support me, and make this possible. I mean, if nobody showed up, I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you so much.